threads of her life and weaves them gratefully into a single cloth. She drives the loud mouths from the hall and clears it for a different celebration, where the one guest is you. Welcome to my cave, buried deep within the mountains. A place where varieties of perspectives equate to a never-ending abundance, where relationships unlock opportunities for growth, inside and outside. For to relate is to have for but a moment a shared reality, a shared moment, whether that's standing barefoot on the earth with your back against a tree, feeling its strength behind you, seeing where it has grown and what it might have gone through to get to where it is, and then to appreciate the gift of its shade, of its strength, of its life-exchanging gas exchange. It's literally producing what you need to survive. That's a relationship. Or if it's standing chest to chest and skin to skin, holding and being held deeply in another's embrace. Or if it's crying, rocking on the floor, knees to chest, breaking into 1,000 pieces, crying 1,000 tears for 1,000 days, wailing with the storm within. It is to put yourself for a moment in another's or yourselves' roots or shoes and feel into their reality and appreciate the value. It is all relationship, a shared reality, a sacred experience. To find the simplicity in the complexity of relationships, it is often helpful to start somewhere specific. For some, that is with themselves first, those right-angle crosses for those who work with human design. And for others, it's only through relating with others that they better understand themselves and their purpose in this world, those left-angle beings, those precious beings. So if you are a self person, you begin with self. To begin with self is one wild ride. It is a spectrum that stretches from "it's all about me" to the peace-filled, humor, accepting, excited curiosity of "I am deeply experiencing life through my own crazy reality in this current moment." What we call loneliness is hunger. We all have a hunger. If we do not see and accept where we are hungry, we perpetually feel lonely. For when we embrace that which we are truly hungry for, we make a fool out of death with our beauty of authenticity. You see, the sky is the same no matter where you're standing. It's only your perspective that's changing. So become loose like the willow and loosen yourself. Lose your self-consciousness. Break like a shell and fall apart and let it all come in. For the sky is the same no matter where you stand. For when we can relate to the potential in our shadows, our gifts can become realized. To begin with others is an even more wild ride. It is a spectrum that stretches from the "what are they so upset about?" to "wow, that is a totally different kind of reality." Begins to ponder. When we can relate to the potential of the shadow in the other, the second relationship, their gifts become spotlighted. Whether they step into that spotlight and become that is their choice and not our push. We do all of these things. It's just a matter of which is our default. It's like whether we are seeing out of rose-colored glasses or being seen in rose-colored glasses. Whether we are being the ingredients inside of the soap bottle, being the shampoo, or we are being the ingredient label on the outside, relating to the rest of the world, what is within. When we are here in partnership with others, however that looks, we can often see where our partner's shadows lie, and we can choose to interact that shadow from a place of understanding. And understanding does not equate to being a rug and letting everything and everyone walk all over you. Nah, it's a powerful meeting force that takes time to understand. It also recognizes its own intolerances, and it forgives others where it has blamed them. That's the first step. If you want to meet people where they are, in their shadows, this is a whole different ballpark. Here, you have to do so without being reactive or repressed, else you, as a simple shadow being, become that yourself. Whirling around together in your shadows as shadow mates don't serve much, except for the moment. Where if you are neutral and with them in their shadows, example, you're not simply standing by and pointing out where they could go or what they should do and ignoring the thing that is holding them back. People need to be seen, and this can be done so simply. You don't need to chain yourself up next to them to show them that you understand. Notnesses of isnesses. Why is this important? This is a language that to some is like, well, why do I need to understand this? Let me break it down like this. When you can understand a concept so simply that it's either an isness or a notness, you can talk and transcend levels, great levels of conversations. Being able to look at a thing from many perspectives is exceedingly helpful. Isness can be an in-the-moment thing, and isness can be a chronic, continuous nature that you experience. Your isness and your temporary isness can be two separate things. Seeing another person in their current isness is a beautiful thing. We cannot join them there. We cannot go there ourselves. And we all need to be seen. When we step outside of the reality of our own experience, we allow for the expansion of multiple realities to become true simultaneously. This is profound and deeply, deeply important. All right, I'm going to turn the lights on. We're going to shift space just a little bit here. I'm going to go through some little practical aspects. Notnesses and isnesses are very, very important. Where we become reactive and repressive in our shadows, we can become accepting and expressing. In order to understand where we are and how to get out of it, we have to see our current isness like we're standing in a murky riverbed or a creek stream. And we're in it, man. There's no like, hey man, I should be over there looking at the idiot over here in the stream. No, we're here. We're right in the middle of it. And if we can see this as our current isness, if we see it as an isness, we can accept it in the moment. If we can't accept it, we can't get out of it because we're in denial that we're there. Acceptance is so deeply important. So this is your isness. And this is the river that you're in. This is its watery borders and expanses. And everything this way and this way is nice, solid land. But we can't quite get there yet. We need to understand what that is in order to get there. That's our current notness that we want to be our isness. But right now we're in the stream and we're in the muddy waters, and that's our isness. And so we accept and embrace that isness, and we find the notness of the isness of our current circumstance. Then we have a trajectory out of the water. This is a very simple concept, and it has deep, deep ripples. So I'm going to ask you tonight to spend some time deeply pondering in your own being how you feel and where you find your isnesses and your notnesses don't you want to be. That might be the notness of your current isness because you're stuck in what you don't want. You might be in a beautiful, awesome place, and that isness is something you're pleased as shit with. So then look at the things that you don't want. Look at your notnesses and make note of where they come in. because that's a place where you can create boundaries, borders, knows this is my isness of turf that is healthy for me, that is solid for me, and no, I will not budge that space. We begin to think in terms of the simplicity of isness and notness. Conversations can go much quicker because the stories around the notness and the isness cease to really matter. They matter for clarity. But we don't have to explain it so deeply that we get lost in its story and we lose its medicine. Here's a couple of thoughts to consider when you are trying to be in a place of accepting another person's reality. Things that you need to accept. Here's a list of sort of do's and don'ts. Don't deny their reality. Don't try to change their reality. Don't compare your reality to theirs, for everyone is uniquely different. And don't assume that your reality, your perception, or your understanding is their reality, or that they even understand it. Do be curious as to how their reality is so different from yours. Do stay connected to your reality and your truths and your values, chosen or innate, which would be defined and undefined. If you have questions around that, please feel free to ask questions below, and I will get to them next week. You can ask clarifying questions if they are in a place of explaining, and otherwise, just hold space for them. You yourself practice deep self-care, making choices that build a life that feels peaceful to exist within. And use wise tools for self-care, physically, mentally, emotionally. This again involves making choices wisely, whether that's hard yeses or hard no's, yummy yeses, gentle, respectful no's that are deeply compassionate, both for you and for them. Compassion does not mean we turn ourselves inside out for people. Compassion is deeply seeing the nature of the thing in relationship to the whole and appreciating it, and loving it, and serving it. That is the compassion that will serve this world and the individuals to a great extent. Until next time.